as my Rashiv used to say, is Chatoin and Masker Ayoim. Like it says in the book of Genesis, I recall my sins today. I don't often make it to Minyan. And yesterday morning I felt, it was Rosh Chodesh Nisan, and I had to stay late at work anyway. It worked out. So I went to Minyan in the morning, and a little shtibel in Monticello, and I had a little bit of a hard time having kavana, paying attention to davening. Forgot to say Yalav Yavo, and I had to daven Shemona Esrei again, all kinds of things. But in the middle of Musaf, I was inspired when I read the following words that we recite every Rosh Chodesh. It was Musaf Yom Rosh Chodesh Hazeh, Na'aseh v'nakriv lefanecha b'yahavo k'mitzvos v'tzonecha. Essentially say the same thing. Shabbos, Musaf Yom Shabbos Hazeh, Na'aseh v'nakriv lefanecha. And this is b'yahava. So we'll say what we said yesterday, but similar to what we'll say tomorrow. So yesterday we said the additional offering of this Rosh Chodesh, the new moon, the new month, we will do and we will offer. The word offer really means to come close. Lefanecha, before you, b'yahava, with love. And similarly, Shabbos, instead of Rosh Chodesh, we say the Sabbath. And I just really want to focus on this. So first of all, we have to have a tremendous amount of faith. In certain other groups, they've changed, you could say maybe heretically, our liturgy to remove this, that we will do it. We have to have faith that eventually it's going to happen, Mashiach is going to come, whether it's soon or whether it could be years from now. We don't know. Today, if you listen to God's voice. But either way, we will do it, and we will offer them, right? And that's a thing. To a certain level, we can't imagine. That's why some people doubt it, right? Because it's a difficult thing to believe, right? That we will do it and we will offer, and we understand that can come only by God's grace. It's not something we can do on our own. It's not something we can just accomplish militarily or politically. It's something that can only come by God's grace. That God will bring a temple from heaven. It should be noted that the Heilige Rishner, now it's Parshas Vayikra, we talk about the Korbanos, that in general, that there will be a false temple, according to the Rishner, before the real temple comes. There might be. Maybe yes, maybe no, but certainly if it's done by human hands and not coming down from heaven, that's a false one. But in any event, I want to really focus on I want to focus really on the Musar idea, on the ethical and inspirational concept here. That we will do it, we will perform this commandment, and we will offer this sacrifice before you, before the Lord, with love. And I was thinking when I said this, which is the bigger chiddush? That we're bringing the sacrifices again, or that we'll do it with love? Because, we're so worried about all kinds of things in our life that distract us from focusing on our liturgy, on our devotions, and so forth. And on one hand, we cannot bring the sacrifices now because we don't have a temple. Although we connect to the sacrifices by reciting them, as the prophet Hosea says, the offerings of your lips come in the place of bulls. In Hosea 14:2. But nonetheless, that we offer these, that we will offer these sacrifices, that's a chiddush, right? That's something incredible. That's something new. But then the question is also b'yahava, with love. In a certain sense, it almost feels like that's more difficult to have that love than it is to actually bring the sacrifices, even though we certainly have to love God and perform mitzvos with love. But do we really? Rabbi Victor Miller, his advice was to say, I love you, God. And when you say these words, you're connecting to, and perhaps fulfilling the mitzvah that of you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. Sometimes we have to ask, we really? So we each do it on our own level. So Rabbi Miller said, you won't be like King David, just by saying, I love you, God, but that's how you get there. And so I think perhaps when we bring the sacrifices, when the Messiah comes, we're talking about a level of love that's totally transcendent. That's totally transcendent. And so therefore, the love that we're talking about is is something that we that will be like King David's love, right? But without that, without the temple yet here, right? We can work toward that love. We can work toward fulfilling, meaning we don't have the temple, we don't have the sacrifices, but we do have access to loving God. And so therefore, the same thing we're going to say tomorrow. This Musaf Yom HaShabbos says that Na'aseh v'narkev l'fanecha b'ahava. We say this constantly, many times in a year. 52 times the Sabbath, 12 times the Rosh Chodesh, and all the various holidays. And so those are the two things. The faith that we will bring these sacrifices, and the love, which is something we can do now, we can feel now. But do we? And ultimately that will be by the grace of God when it happens. But in the meantime, we can still put in those efforts as well. Of course, God's sovereignty is total even on the love that we feel for Him. But nonetheless, we have to learn and connect to that, and also have a desire for that, have a she'ifa, look forward to that love. So we should all be worthy to reach the levels of love that we're able to now, love of God, and to work on and hope for that love in the future. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions or comments before we continue. Before we conclude, I'll give 15 more seconds for questions and comments in the in the chat here before we conclude the live stream. Thank you for watching, and God bless you, and we'll see you later. All right. Have a good Shabbos, everybody.